Okay, another traveling apartment because my son got another job. That means another small espresso maker review. This time we're trying the Staresso. Saw this advertised and I couldn't resist. It was only 60 bucks. Let's get into it. Comes in a nice box. It says that Red Dot Design Award. Um, eh, let's see what we get. And in that lovely box, we have this. It's actually kind of cool. You get this little scoop here, which is quite small. The instructions actually say to use between 7 and 10 grams of coffee for this, so you're looking at Italian style shots here, not typical American espresso shots. So you're not going to pull an 18-gram double out of this. And then this whole unit is everything all put together. You can see there's actually a glass in there already. That comes with an extra one too. And then this whole piece comes apart. This is the actual pump up here, so you can turn this, and if I turn it correctly, there we go. This comes up here, so it's a pump. That's how it actually gets pressure inside. And you can take the whole thing apart. So here's the top. This is the actual pump unit. This is your water reservoir in here, which you fill with two different levels. There's actually some markings in here. They're very hard to see. Interestingly enough, they actually get easier to see when you put water in there, which is bizarre, but they do. And then you can unscrew. Actually, take this part just lifts out. This part screws on to keep the cup in here when you're pumping, so the cup doesn't fly out. This is just a piece up here that screws on, and this is the water reservoir in here. And then this is your actual brew unit right here, the brew head. This part screws on and off. I'm doing this with one hand, so that's interesting. So that you can see there's a little shower screen with, and it's wet because I've actually already used it. There's a gasket up in here and a nice shower screen. And this is your brew head portafilter type thing. There's actually a piece in here. So there's like a valve there, which does aid in crema production probably. Kind of a similar thing. There's actually, you can feel it's spring-loaded, so when you push on it, it goes in there. And then this has two pieces to it. You get the little thing here, which is metal, probably for thermal protection. And this piece here is actually the base. You can see there's some small holes in it. This is actually the bottom of what would be a portafilter. And there is a small rubber gasket around the outside. This thing actually comes off. You can see that rubber gasket right there. So let's assemble the whole thing and see what we can do. Okay, I've actually already done this once to kind of do a trial run. There's my water heating up. I'm just using the microwave. So I've pre-ground a bunch of coffee here. This is, well, I didn't pre-grind it. I just ground it just now. I'm using the OXO Barista Brain, which is an okay grinder. It's not the best in the world, but it does work. This is setting number 2 on the grinder, which is... I haven't done a lot of experimentation, but it does work here. So I'm going to weigh out 10 grams in our little portafilter thing here, or as close to it as I can get. See, that's one scoop of this was 5, and it's already pretty full there. This makes a god-awful mess. Let's see how close I can actually get to 10. That's 7.8 right there, which actually is a standard Italian shot. So let's see if I can actually get it higher than that. There's 9 grams right there. So let's go with 9 grams. We'll use that. I put this paper towel down here because it does make a mess. This thing is basically your tamper as well too. So you just kind of make do with what you got. It's not too hard to tamp in here. In fact, you can probably take this out if you really wanted to get it better, because that thing's got that valve in there, so it squishes a little bit. But here we go. Here is our, that you can't really see it, but there's our coffee in there. So it's 9 grams is what I got going in here. So you assemble it into this piece here, and then you screw this on. And then you take the bottom piece here. This just slips in. It doesn't screw. Remember, the only part that screws here is this piece here to hold the cup in. So there we go. Let's see if we can get enough in there. And then this is the pump piece, which we're going to put on top. So I'm going to fill the water, and we're going to try and pull a shot out of here. I'm going to go up to the double one. Let's see if I can see it in here. There it is, right there. So you can still see the shot. Here we go. So let's go with right to there. This is our... I'm going right in between the double and the singles in here, which it says is about 50 mils of water. So we'll put the top on, and then I'm just going to start to pump this, which I'll show you very quickly up here. Just literally push this up and down, and I'm going to generate pressure. So I'm going to keep doing that, and we're going to get, hopefully, a shot out of this. So let's put this sent right here, and off we go. That's getting harder. Yeah, there we go. It's extracting a shot. There's actually some very decent crema here. And that's it right there. That's all the water's through. No more back pressure. So let's take this off here. Let's take this out. And what you end up with is a pretty decent looking shot of espresso, actually, right there. Here's the top. It's actually got some reasonable coloration there. Not too terribly bad. This is my home roast blend, by the way, so that may have something to do with it. It's very well roasted coffee, and it is it's very fresh. So there we go, a shot with the Staresso. Yeah, let's of course give it a taste here. That is a drinkable shot. It's lacking in body. It's a little thin, but it is not bitter by any means at all. I could probably go slightly finer on the grind, I'm going to guess, because this extracted in 20-ish seconds probably, so it did extract a little too fast. I can go finer on the grind, but it doesn't taste bitter. It doesn't taste astringent. It's actually fairly well extracted, which is pretty surprising. So this thing generates enough pressure, apparently. There you go. All right, so we're not done, because we made the shot, we drank the shot. It's a tasty shot. It's not brilliant, but it's actually quite good. It was smooth. It, like I said, some of that may have to do with the coffee I'm using, which is my home roast, and it's very fresh. But we got to clean this mess up. As you can see, it leaks quite a bit over here. This is just taking this piece and letting it sit there. So whatever residual pressure was in there has leaked out. So you can see now if I do this, I'm just pulling it open. There's clearly a back pressure. So in here, this is easy, just water. Although I will do this and you'll see how that squirts right there. So this thing does suck up water. They say you can actually use this to froth milk too, but the fact that this sucks water up in here, I don't want that sucking milk up. That's going to be a cleanliness nightmare. But you can do it, and you just have to probably clean the crap out of it. But that's for another time. And in here, piece of cake, that was just water, all clean. Down here, we have to unscrew this. If I can do it with one hand, let me get it going here. All right, so let's unscrew this. And you can see more stuff leaking out as we get that off. Now, here's where we get interesting. There's our shower screen. That's going to be easy to clean. We've got this kind of soupy puck thing here, which you could probably keep pumping and get some of that out. So let's take that out. You can see all the stuff that's leaking out here as it's continuously doing this. This part we can just clean out. There's some water in there, everything else, so we'll drop that down there for now. This piece here, I'm gonna dump some of that water out. So It's hot. This actually is not pleasant to hold on to right now, so I'm not going to. They give you a little tool to poke in there that will poke the puck up along with that piece that's in the bottom there. If you just shake this out, you're going to have a problem because you're going to end up shaking that little gasketed piece in there out as well. So you got to be careful. You got to poke that out and you got to keep it. So cleaning this thing is actually kind of a pain in the ass. I give it fairly low marks on that front. They weren't thinking ahead too far. If you were able to just let this dry and kind of sit for a while, maybe that'd be okay. But if I want to make another shot for a friend, let's say you're out camping and not just in an apartment waiting for your next call time, this is going to be kind of a difficult thing to do, especially because this is hot. So cleanup on this thing, not the greatest design. The Red Dot Design Award was probably for the packaging, not for how clean this thing is when you actually get it done at the end. But the shot was good. So where it counts, that's good. Just make sure you have the ability to put something down to clean up. Okay, I lied. I'm not done. Here's the little tool I mentioned. This little thing pokes into the hole here. So you turn it this way, poke it out, and it pushes this piece out. This is that grid part. And out comes a puck. And it's actually fairly well formed. I mean, you're not going to squeeze it too hard, but there's a legit coffee puck here that actually holds its form. Now, one other thing I just noticed, which I figured I would point out, is this little bit comes in here. This is instructions on how to use Nespresso pods with this thing, which explains the size of this. This is exactly the size of an espresso capsule. So if you are that type of person and you don't want to use fresh ground coffee on your own and you really want to make it super portable, you can get yourself some Nespresso pods if you like the flavor of those and bring those along. And then the cleanup becomes significantly easier. Dealing with an espresso pod as opposed to a puck like this, it's going to be a lot easier. I still think the cleanup was an afterthought, but there you go.